Hello, I welcome you for this session. Today we will be discussing some exercise. Application of influence line in a truss oriented structure. In previous session I have discussed the influence line concept for a truss, and now we will be exercising for different structures in order to understand better. Generally, when a concept is understood only if it is applied. If the application is not there, the concept is very hard to understand, and where to apply and what are the expansion of the concept which are unknown. If you start applying for practical and day-to-day scenario, you can understand the concept much well in a wider application. By this note, let us start today's session. Now here we are having a truss which is a determinate truss. It has a hinged end at one side and a roller end support at the other side. It is indicated by A and G. So totally this has one number of reaction, and at hinged end it has two number of reaction. Hence it is statically determinate truss, and you can find the internal indeterminacy by using the formula. Okay. After finding the indeterminacies for an externally determinate structure, we shall follow this procedure. The first step is to find RA and RG. So this is RA and RG. Now, what is the requirement for this problem is you need to find the member force at 3, at 2 and at 1. So these are the three members where you have to find the influence line. When a load is moving from A to G, what happens to these members? That what are the mode of internal stress could be identified by the influence line. So for that, what we'll be doing, we will be placing a unit load at first portion, that is A, B, C, D, E, F, G. There are 6 number of bays. Each bay consists of 4 meter, that is 4 into 6 is 24 meter. So the total span length is 24 meter and the height is also 4 meter. Okay. So let us split this into two regions. So this is region 1, which is left side of the considered plane, and right side of the considered plane is D to G. So this is our plane. How, if you want to identify the internal forces in the member 3, and if you want to identify the influence line of member 3, what you have to do is you have to split the structure. If you are splitting the structure, you have to split it into two halves, and you have to place the load in first half in order to find the reaction at the other end. So this is the way we will proceed. For the member 2 and 3, the section is being splitted by using a vertical line. But what about the member 1? The member 1 is also vertical, so we cannot cut the member vertically. Hence, we will be cutting this section in an inclined plane or a horizontal plane. In either way you can cut. So why we are cutting this section in inclined plane? So that you can easily understand the left hand side portion and the right hand side portion. So in order to place the load, we are cutting the section in this manner. Okay. So what is the first step? Is to find reactions, that is RA and RG. We have to find the support reaction. We have a simple formula, that is L minus X divided by L. So L is the total span, that is 24 minus X divided by 24, which will be RA, and RG will be X by L, that is X by 24. So this is the first section, and after cutting this section, you have the left hand side portion of your structure. We shall Proceed with the next step. The structure is divided into three regions, that is region 1, 2 and 3. Okay. With the unit load at region 1, so this is the region 1 part, we are placing a unit load, so and taking the moment of all the forces about the point D. What we are going to do, this is our point D. If the load is placed at one end, we will find the reaction at the other end. Okay. This is our plane of cutting. We will look into the right hand side. Okay. First, let us find the force at the member 3. If I am taking D as the joint, we might be able to find the force at 3. So we will be taking, you have to note that all the joints, that is joint N, in this joint it is being tensioned. All the joint has to be assumed as tension, hence joint M is assumed as tensioned. There are 3 members in this plane and all the members are assumed as tension, and at joint C the member is assumed as tension, and at joint D similarly. So we are not interested in the other plane. Why? Because our point of interest is to find the forces of these 3 members. Hence we are not assuming a tension force at the left hand side. Why? Because we are not interested in finding LM. So that what are all the member which are interested, we will apply this assumption and then we will start proceeding. So can we start at the joint M to find the reaction at 3, the member force at 3? No. Why? Because you need a perpendicular distance to find the reaction. So we cannot take the moment in N. We can start with the point D, so that you have load into perpendicular distance. We can take a moment at D. When taking D and looking into the right hand section, Rg into up to D is 12-meter distance. This is each and every panel is 4 meter and Rg into 24, which will be anti-clockwise. Hence it is written as Rg into 12. Okay. Next you have a member F3 member here, and it is also anti-clockwise. F3 into distance is 4. So F3 into 4 equal to 0. Now if you want to find F3, take all the components to the right hand side, and F3 equal to Rg into 12 divided by 4. I am cross multiplying this 4. We know that Rg is x by 24. So after applying Rg is as x by 24, and further simplifying this numerical component, we will be getting minus 0.125 x. So this is our F3. After finding that, we will be knowing the influence line at the loaded portion. Okay, this is the coordinate, that is 0, 0. From here you can add 4 meter for each and every joint. To find the influence line at joint A, x equal to 0, at joint A I will be getting, if I substitute 0 here, F3 will be 0, and x equal to 4 at the joint B, if I substitute 5 here, so this is 4 meter distance. If I substitute 4 here, I will be getting 0.5 as the answer, and for joint C, if I apply 8 meter, I will be, and at joint D 12 meter, and after applying this 12 meter, I will be getting 1.5. So we got the influence line for F3, and let us come into the next section, that is F2. In order to find the F2, F2 is an inclined member. You can resolve this vertically and find the reaction. Either you can take at M. Why we cannot take at M now? Why? Because the load is at left hand side. So this is our plane. You have to consider only the right hand side. So the right hand side we have at the point of D. Okay. So let us resolve this into vertical component. For that you need theta. How to find this theta? We know the distance, that is, this is 4 meter and this is also 4 meter. While considering this right angle triangle, you can take opposite side by hypotenuse and you will be getting the theta here. If you find the theta, after finding the theta, if you resolve into vertical axis, you have to use sin theta, that is f2 into sin theta. So to find the theta, you have to divide opposite side by hypotenuse. So what is opposite side? 4 meter, and hypotenuse is, you can find hypotenuse by rooting 4 square plus 4 square. If you find that, you will be getting 5.65 as the hypotenuse. Okay, so this is our equation. You have Rg here, which is upward, so plus Rg. If you resolve f2 into sin theta, f2 sin theta, both are upward. If you want f2, you can take it outside, Rg, that will become minus Rg divided by sin theta. You know sin theta is 4 by 5.65, and since it is in denominator, you can inverse that, and 5.65 by 4, it will be written here. It will be written here as 5.65 divided by 4, and Rg, it is taken as x by 24. After simplifying this numericals, the answer will be 0.0588x. We know that sin theta is 4 by 5.65. So we got the f2 function. To get the influence line, you have to substitute at each and every coordinate. That is, at the point A, the coordinate is 0, and if you substitute 0 here, you will be getting 0. And at the point B, if I substitute 4, if you multiply this into 4, you will be getting minus 0.235, and while substituting 8, you will be getting the subsequent answer. Okay, we have found out the reaction 2. Okay, now let us go to the member 1. So in order to find that, this will be left hand side and the upper part will be right hand side, so that we are cutting the plane in an inclined line. So in order to find that, let us resolve vertically. We know that if you are looking at upward side, that is at right hand side, the f1 is downward, hence it is written as f1, and it is purely vertical, we can take it as f1 exactly, that is minus f1, and you have Rg here, which is upward. So to find f1, you have to take the Rg outside, so x by 24, you will be getting this function. You can substitute the coordinates and you will be getting the f1 values. And now let us take this load and keep at the region 3. Okay, now it is placed at the region 3. We have the plane here. What we have to do is, we have to find the reaction at this portion only. To find that, we can use the same equation. If you want to find f3, I will be taking moment at D, Ra into distance, which will be 12. So Ra into 12, which is clockwise, and you have the member 3 here. So f3 into distance is 4, perpendicular distance, and f3 into 4. To find f3, we can take this outside, minus Ra into 12 by 4. We can substitute Ra as 24 minus x by 24. We have the remaining 12 by 4. Okay, let us simplify this. You will be getting, let us substitute the coordinates. The remaining coordinates are, up to D we have found the first region, and if you want to extend to the further regions, this is at section D, joint D is at 12-meter distance. So let us substitute 12 here. 24 minus 12 into minus 0.125. I will be getting minus 1.5, and for E it is 16 meter. If I substitute 16 here, I will be getting 1, and similarly for 20 and 24. Note that at 24 we are getting 0. Okay. Let us find the next member as F2. So for finding the F2, this is an inclined member. We can resolve this. Okay. So this is right hand side. Let us look into the left hand side. You have the next half of the member, that is F2 is downward, and you already know the theta as 4 by 5.65. Since it is an equilateral triangle, all the angles will be same. So we know the theta here, and if you find the value of theta here, the opposite side will be the same. So the theta will be same here, that is 4 by 5.65. Okay, now you know the theta. If you want to resolve it vertically, I can use F2 into sin theta. Since it is downward, after resolving, you can use minus F2 sin theta, plus in the left hand side we have RA equal to 0, and if you want F2, you can take it outside, and RA will be 24 minus x divided by 24, and sin theta will be going to the other side, and it will become 1 by sin theta, and 1 by sin theta is 4 by 5.65. It will get inverse, and you will be having this function. And let us reduce this into a further simplified form. So we will be getting 24 minus x into 0.0588. Okay. So let us substitute x equal to 12, 16 and 20 in this equation instead of x. If I substitute that, I will be getting this value here. Okay. Now let us find the next member, that is F1. So this is the left hand part of this member. Since it is upward, we will be getting F1 as plus F1, and you have another force of Rg which is also upward and plus Rg. If you need F1, you can take it outside. Now we know that Rg is 24 minus x by 24, and for F1 we will be getting 1 by 24. So 1 by 24 is 0.0416. This is our function, and let us substitute the x value for 12, 16, 20 and 24. We will be getting this values, and we found all the values of F1, F2 and F3. Now here is step 5. So when the member is loaded at the region 1, we got the value of A equal to 0 for F1. So this is for the member F1, this is the influence line, and this is for the member F2. You have influence line here, and F3. So how to understand this? While the load is at left hand side portion, it was the positive influence line, that is it is under the tension, and after this transition point, what happens? The influence line became compression. So during the passage of the load here, after the portion D, it transfers into tensile force. Okay. Next, for the member 2. So between the first region, it was compression up to the member B, and C to D under this side was the transition from positive to negative, and for the region 2. Okay. So the member 3, which is purely compression, while the load is moving at region 1, 2 or 3, the member 3 is purely at the compression, so that you can see a triangle here. And when the load is at exactly at the point D, there was the maximum compression which is being up, and this is the understanding of this example 1. Now let us go to the example 2, which is slightly different from the previous example. So you can see a arch type stress here. So another pattern of arch. So here the solution of influence line for the members will be different. So let us understand this concept. So here draw the influence line diagram for the member 4, 5 and 6. So this is the member 4 and the member 5 and member 6. For these three members you have to find the influence line. Okay, this is our point of interest. For this you can split into two regions, that is left hand side and right hand side, by using a single plane. So you can cut this section into a single plane. Vertically you will be getting two number of portion. So for the left hand side portion you will be having the joint 2. In the joint 2 you have only one member, it is assumed as tension, and at joint 3 you have two member of interest, we have assumed as tension, and we are not going to analyze this member, hence the assumption of tension is not written here. And the member 6 is assumed as tension at the joint 5, and at joint 4 two members is being assumed as tension. Okay, so by this assumption, and let us understand this problem further. Note that each and every panel is 6 meter and the apex of the truss is at 6 meter, and the next highest distance is at 4.8 meter, hence the remaining distance will be 6 minus 4.8 will be 1.2. So this distance is 1.2 here, and also it is written as theta 2. So the theta 2 is the angle between the perpendicular line, this vertical line, up to the member 4, and this is theta 1 and this portion is theta. So this has to be found out before solving the problem. And now you have the extended imaginary line here. So why this imaginary line is written here is, note that in the previous problem you had vertical and horizontal shape of trusses at the outset. Now you are going to find the influence line for the arch type structure. So for that we will be considering load into perpendicular distance. How we will be finding the moment? Load into the perpendicular distance. Now if you take here the load is at an angle, we cannot take this vertical line as the perpendicular distance. So we have to find the extension. So an imaginary point is drawn here along with this element. So if you extend this, it will join at the point O dash, and further the horizontal line is also extended. At the meeting point it is mentioned as O dash here. Okay, so when you extend the member 5, it is going to extend up to certain position, and if you draw a perpendicular line here, and if the perpendicular line meet at a certain point and this point is taken as O double dash, we are not aware of the distance here. So just we have extended these lines, and the extended lines is being indicated by the and the each joint is being numbered here. Okay, let us find the solution. We know that this is 1.2 meter distance and this distance is 6 meter. So in order to find the remaining distance, so that is, this is a triangle, which is, this is a right angle triangle. the extension of this right angle triangle is the imaginary line. So we know the distance is 1.2 into 6. Similar way we can find for the extended right angle triangle. How to find this? We know the distance is 12 meter here, and we don't know the total distance from the point to 5 and the O dash. So for 1.2 meter we had the horizontal distance of 6 meter. So for 1.2 meter we had the range of 6, and for 6 meter of vertical, what is the horizontal distance? If you put this as x, so the total distance as x, if you cross multiply, you can find the value of x here. So the x equals 6 into 6 will be 36, 36 divided by 1.2. So then we will be getting the answer of x as 30 meter. So if you find this as 30 meter, we already know this is 6 and 6, the remaining distance will be 18 meter. Okay, now we have found out this as 18 meter, and let us find the angle of theta 2. So for this right angle triangle, it is the whole angle is written as theta 2. So how to find the theta 2? It is unknown here. We can substitute the tan theta. So for finding the tan theta, you need, if this is the theta, this is hypotenuse side, this is the opposite side, and this is the adjacent side. So opposite is 30 and adjacent is 6. So tan theta equal to opposite by adjacent. So if you inverse this, you will be getting the theta 2 value. So the theta 2 value is 78.69 degree. Okay. Now we know this theta 2 value is 78.69 degree. So then let us find the value of L34, that is distance between 3 and 4. 3 and this is the point 4. So between this 3 and 4, let us find the distance. You know the side, that is this is 6 meter and this is 6 meter, and this angle will be theta 1. So this theta 1 will be 45 degree. Why? So if the sides are equal, that is 6 meter by 6 meter, then automatically this will be 45 degree. And if you know the angle of 45 degree, you can find the hypotenuse side. So to find hypotenuse, you can use Pythagoras theorem. You can root 6 square plus 6 square, and you will be getting 8.484. Now you got this distance, and finally the only one unknown is theta. So this is the theta. You know the theta 2 as 78.69 degree, and the theta 1 is 45 degree. Now the theta will be, if you subtract this, you will be getting 36.69 degree. And finally the distance between 3, 3. Why you need this distance? Why we are making this much process is to find the distance L33, that is 3, 3 distance. So you have an angle for this member with respect to horizontal. So this is the load, you need a perpendicular distance. So this is not perpendicular to the load. For that you need this perpendicular distance. In order to find this, you have the hypotenuse here. So let us take this as a right angle triangle. You have the hypotenuse here and you have the theta here, that is theta is 33 degree. So if you want 3, 3, you can use sin theta, that is opposite side by hypotenuse. You can cross multiply, you will be getting opposite hypotenuse is 8.484 into sin, the angle is 33.69 degree. You will be getting the distance as 4.71. So these are all geometrical properties. So by knowing this geometrical properties, the solution of this truss will be very much easy. Okay. So let us proceed into the sum. You already know that in order to find R1 and R8, so these are the reactions. This is R1 and R8. It is a determinate truss. If you want to find R1, L minus X divided by L. So the length is 24 here, 24 minus X divided by 24 is R1, and R8 is X by L, that is X by 24. So by this understanding, we have already found out these values, that is this hypotenuse is 8.48 and this distance is 4.75 and the remaining distance. Now let us apply a unit load at left hand portion. Okay, this will be region 1, that is 1 to 3, and the second region will be 5 to 8 or 3 to 8. So this will be our second region. So let us provide the load at the region 1, that is 1 to 3. So unit load is placed in panel 1 to 3. After placing this load here, this is our section plane. We will be taking the right hand side. Looking into the right hand side, R8 into 18. 6 plus 6 plus 6 is 18. So this will be anti-clockwise, hence it is minus R8 into 18. Okay, next you are having at the right hand side for the F4. So the F4 member, so this is our F4 and the perpendicular distance. So this is the line of action of F4. So the perpendicular distance with the point 3 is L33 dash, and we already know the L33 dash since it is also anti-clockwise with respect to the joint 3, hence it is taken as minus. If you want F4, you can take this outside, minus R8. So you know R8 will be X by 24 and L33 dash. So you know L33 dash is 4.71. So this distance is 4.71. Here we have substituted this 4.71 and we got the equation for F4. If you substitute X equal to 0 for F4, you will be getting 0, and if you substitute X equal to 6 for the joint 3, 6 into 18. So if you substitute the value of 6 here, distance, and 6 into 18 divided by 24 into 4.71. So this is in terms of negative, you will be getting compression minus 0.955. And okay, now we have found out the member 4. So let us find the other unknown components, that is length between O dash and 4. So this is O dash and this is, so if you want to find this hypotenuse distance, we know the vertical and the horizontal distance. So this is 30 and this is 6. So if you square root this and if you use Pythagoras theorem, you will be getting 30.594 meter. Let us find the reaction for F5 here. So this is our F5. Let us take the moment at O dash. Why we are not taking the moment at the joint 3? Why? Because this is the F5 member. You need certain perpendicular distance in order to find the solution. So this is not the similar way where we resolved vertically and we found the solution. So here the component of the truss is different, hence we will be taking moment to find the force at the member 5. So the perpendicular distance can be found by, this is the extension of the member 5 and you can find the distance. So this is the perpendicular distance of the F5 member. So in order to find this distance, we have used this function. So you know the angle which is theta here, and let us take this as sin theta, opposite side by hypotenuse. So you know this hypotenuse side as 30.594, and you have to find the x at L O dash O double dash. If you want to find that, this is the hypotenuse side into sin theta. If you multiply this, you will be getting this distance as 16.97. Yes. While taking the moment at O dash, so the distance is, this is from here to here is 30, and this is 12. So 30 plus 12 will be 42. So this will be anti-clockwise, hence minus R8 into 42. And next you will be having a reaction here. So this is our reaction, and this force has a perpendicular distance. So this is going into the clockwise direction with respect to O dash, and F5 into 16.97. So this is clockwise plus F5 into 16.97. So in order to find the F5, you can take everything into right hand side. You will be getting this equation, R8 into 42 divided by 16.97. So R8, you know that x by 24. You will be simplifying this, and you will be getting 0.1031x. If you substitute 0 here, you will be getting the joint 1 influence line, and if you substitute 6 here, you will be getting joint 5 force. So both are positive. Okay, if you want to find the force of member 6, so this, since it is a horizontal member, you can take the moment at joint 4. So this is the left hand, so this is the right hand side. We can take R8 into distance as 12. So R8 into 12, this is anti-clockwise with respect to 4, and you have the force here, that is F6, the distance is 6, and this is a clockwise moment with respect to 4, and F6 into 6. Further, if you want to find F6, take it outside, and you will be getting 2 into R8, and you know R8 is x by 24. Substitute the limits, that is for 0 and 6, you will be getting 0 and 1 by 2. Now let us find for the right hand side portion. Okay, the same way we will be considering the load at the section of 3 and 5 we have provided, and this is our plane of action. Let us find the F4 first, the same way, and for finding F4, let us take the moment at point 3. If you are taking moment at point 3, you have to look into this side, load into perpendicular distance. F4, this will be clockwise, hence it is plus. So load F4 into perpendicular distance is 3 dash. We know that this is 4.71, and you have R1 into distance, that is 6. R1 into 6, both are clockwise, and you can simplify F4 and find the F4. Here R1 is L minus x divided by L, that is 24 minus x by 24, and 6 divided by 4.71. You will be getting this function, and if you substitute 12 and 24, you can get the answers for this function. So while substituting 12, you got 0.37, and for 24 you got 0. Then the same way we have to take the moment at O dash. So this is O dash. Let us consider this portion, and to find the force F5. So this is the force F5, load into the perpendicular distance. So this is going to rotate at the anti-clockwise direction, since it is written as minus minus Fi into O dash O double dash, L O dash and O double dash. Okay, then you have R1 into 18 meter distance. This is also anti-clockwise, so it is written as negative and negative. And if you need Fi, you can take this outside. You will be having minus R1 into 18 divided by L O dash O double dash. You know that this is 16.97. You substitute this, and after simplifying, you will be getting 24 minus x into this number, and this is our function. Substitute 12 and 24 for 5 and 8. Join 5 and 8. You will be getting minus 0.53 and 0. Now to find the member 6, take the moment at the point 4 and consider this left hand side. So the load is F6 into perpendicular distance is 6 meter. Since it is anti-clockwise, it is written as minus F6 into 6, and you have F1 into distance. Distance is 12 and it is anti-clockwise. So this is R1 into 12. Since it is clockwise, plus R1 into 12. And for finding F6, you can take this outside. You will be getting this equation, and substituting the limits of 12 and 24, you will be getting 1 and 0. The influence line for member 4, and this is the member 4. You got all the value is negative. So while seeing all the problem, you can understand that while the load is moving, the top chord of the member is always taking a negative force, and the bottom chord is always taking a positive force. This is the similarity. So while doing this analysis, we got this understanding that the top chord has a negative influence line and bottom chord always have a positive influence line. The diagonal has both positive and negative. So these are the diagonal, and the diagonals have minimum value than the top and bottom chord. So you can see that this is the value of 1 at the bottom chord, which is the 6, member 6, and this is the maximum value of 0.955. This is at the top chord. And you can see that always the diagonal member took the limited number of force when you are comparing. So this is yet another understanding of influence line diagram for a bridge. So I hope that this exercise would have given you some understanding about how the load is transferring into the truss in a bridge structure, and the shape of the structure and the shape of the bridge is very much important to make the analysis. If it is a simple geometry which is rectangular, it will be a single type of analysis, and if it is complicated arch-type structure, you need to find the properties of the truss and then proceed the analysis. So I hope you enjoyed this session. We will see you soon. Happy learning. Yours.